Hello and welcome to Bio Lessons. We are still talking about digestion, and in the previous class we saw the importance of digestive enzymes and biosalts to be able to break food into small particles, small enough for our digestive system to be able to absorb and throw these food particles into our bloodstream so we can make use of it. Today we are going to take a look on the structure of the digestive system itself. So basically we are going to see everything that's there from our mouth until the anus. So the way that the food goes and everything that you have in that way or around that way. Okay, so the mouth, of course, is the most obvious part of the digestive system. Is a place where we grab the food, we break it down into smaller pieces and smaller. Mechanically, we have physical breakdown of food into that part using our teeth. We mix the food with saliva, so we already have digestion happening in the mouth itself because the starch of our food start being broken into the mouth. And then the bolus, which is the name that we give for the food mixed with the saliva, they go down through the esophagus, go down until it gets into the stomach. Oh, sorry, that big stuff over there is the liver. The food doesn't pass through there, but it's there on the side, just for you to know the name. That green stuff is the gallbladder, and now we have the stomach. Okay, the food got into the stomach. That's the part where the food gets stored for a while and also start to be working with some enzymes and start working on it. Okay, just beside the pancreas and a little bit behind the stomach, sorry, we have the pancreas, very important gland in our body. It is going to be producing some digestive enzymes. Then we have the small intestine. After actually the stomach, the food goes to the small intestine. The pancreas actually is just an annex gland that's over there. The small intestine is called small because it has a very narrow lumen compared to the large intestine, but it's actually very long. The small intestine is very long, okay? The large intestine, that one that goes here up, side, down, and gets over there. The large intestine is called large, not because it's very large, it's smaller than the small intestine, but it has a large lumen, has a large light, a large circumference, so it's wide. Now it should be called narrow intestine and wide intestine, okay? After the small intestine, when you get to the large intestine, you have the appendix. We're going to talk about that. You have then, in the end of the large intestine, you have the rectum and you have the anus. These here are the parts that constitutes the digestion system. Okay. Now I'm going to be drawing it for you, so it's a little bit simpler and a little bit easier to visualize the structures. Okay, so we have the mouth is out of this drawing, so should be over there. Wait, let me draw here as well in color, because then you have the possibility of seeing it in color as well. And then the mouth is outside of this drawing, is on the top of the esophagus. That part over there is the esophagus, the tube that carries the food down to the stomach by peristalsis. It's a movement of muscles squeezing like tube paste that is squeezed into the tube over there to be able to move away, and all the food in all our digestive system moves by peristalsis, by muscles squeezing. After the esophagus, the food gets to the stomach where it's stored and also suffers the action of enzymes and acids. The liver is beside there. I told you before, actually it's behind that part over there. It's a very big organ. You have the gallbladder inserted there into the liver. We have a better view of these three structures that are related to producing enzymes in a while. Okay, the pancreas there, as I told you before, they are beside the stomach. After the small intestine, after the stomach, you have the small intestine where the food goes. It's much bigger than that. Not only three laps, it has many more convolutions. And then you have the large intestine that goes upside down and out by the rectum and the anus. So this here is the structure of the digestive system. If this is too complicated for you to draw, let me show you a very simple diagram that can be drawn even by people that don't have much drawing skills or experience. Okay, there we have the mouth is on the top, it's not shown here. Then you have the esophagus, then you have the stomach, then you have the large intestine over there, the small intestine, and we have the rectum and the anus. And the pancreas is drawn out of place, as is the liver and the gallbladder. Why did I draw the pancreas out of place? Because it's easier to draw it on the sides instead of being all mixed together behind the stomach, in front of the stomach, and so on. But if you draw it out of place, it's a very good idea for you to say it is drawn out of place. Just bear in mind that the liver, the pancreas, the gallbladder, they are not part of the digestive duct. The digestive duct get the food down here into the esophagus, the stomach stay here for a while, and then it goes to the small intestine, to the back over there, small intestine, small intestine, small intestine, and gets to the large intestine, hopefully not getting stuck into the appendix here, goes to the large intestine, go over there, and then it's already left over that goes out as feces. So this is the way of the food. By the way, I told you in the beginning that the food that we move, that we mix with the saliva here is the bolus. When it gets here in the stomach, the name of it now is going to be chemo, maybe because mixed with chemicals like hydrochloric acid, and then it goes down, 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 and up, and when it becomes feces, it's going to be the kilo, maybe because it's heavy, and I don't know the name, why. It's bolus, kilo, chemo, bolus, chemo, and kilo. That's the name of this stuff. Okay. One important thing, when you're going to be drawing the annex structures of the digestive system here, they also have a special way of being drawn. Okay, the pancreas is behind the stomach, the gallbladder is inserted in the liver, the bile ducts, they join with the pancreatic ducts, and both they throw their content into the small intestine, specifically in the duodenum. Let me show you here a diagram showing a close-up view of this structure. You have the stomach there on the right in orange. We have in brown the liver, in yellow the pancreas and the gallbladder. So we have here the bile salts are produced by the liver, are stored in the pancreas, and when you eat something that's very fatty, it throws the contents here, goes into the ducts of the pancreas, and throws its content into the small intestine, specifically duodenum. The pancreas also produces its chemicals, its enzymes. Now you have all these enzymes produced here, and they throw them also in the duodenum, in the small intestine. So if you're going to be drawing the pancreas, the gallbladder, and the liver, bear in mind that they have ducts. The ducts get together in the pancreas and they connect to the small intestine over there, just after the stomach. That's where it actually is. Okay, so here you have liver, stomach, gallbladder, pancreas, and the duodenum, which is the beginning of the small intestine. Okay, functions of all these parts. So let me draw it all over here again, so you can put some functions beside the drawing, so you can visualize that and try to remember better what's the function of all these parts. So let's go. Esophagus, it carries food from the mouth to the stomach by peristalsis. So you swallow, it goes to your stomach. It can also carry food from the stomach to the mouth if you throw up. Okay, peristalsis can be inverted, but usually. So there's esophagus there. It's the one that conducts the bolus from the mouth to the stomach by the way of peristalsis. Okay, stomach. Stomach, it stores food, it kills germs and pathogens, it starts protein digestion with pepsin, it produces hydrochloric acid, so it makes it very acidic, it produces pepsin, which is one enzyme. So the stomach is a gland, but it's also part of the digestive duct that stores and process food. Okay, The small intestine also produces enzymes, so it's also a gland, but it's the place where the digestion of the food that was all broken down by the enzymes happen, and also the absorption of the particles that are now small enough for your bloodstream to be able to take it in. So the small intestine function is to finish digestion with the digestive enzymes from pancreas or from itself, with biosalts, also that from the gallbladder and the liver, to be able to finish this digestion stuff and to be able to absorb the food. Okay? The large intestine also has a function of absorption, but absorption of water and hydrosoluble stuff. So things that are not absorbed in the small intestine, they are going to be absorbed now. Some water-soluble vitamins, some minerals, and most important, the water. The remaining undigested material, for example, fibers, they stay there in the large intestine and they make the feces. So the stuff that we're going to put out, they are formed by the leftover in the large intestine. Okay? And digestion then happens in the rectum and the anus, which controls this digestion part of our body. The pancreas function in the digestive system is to produce many enzymes. It has some carbohydrates, for example, pancreatic amylase. It has some protease like trypsin. It has lipase like the pancreatic lipase. So it produces those enzymes that are thrown in the small intestine to be able to do the digestion of food. The gallbladder is going to be storing biosalt. So when you eat lots of fats, they are released in the small intestine. And the liver, its function in the digestion is to produce biosalts. So the pancreas, the liver, they have other functions beside digestion, but in digestion, the liver is responsible for producing biosalt, and the pancreas is responsible for producing digestive enzymes. Okay, now those are the functions of this part of the digestive system. Okay, putting things together, digestion, therefore, is going to be the breakdown of organic molecules into the small pieces that make it. So digestion is what you do in the beginning of the process. So enzymes in your mouth, stomach, and small intestine are going to be breaking down during the digestion. After the digestion, you have another process called absorption. So to absorb is to get those small particles into the bloodstream. So basically to get the food, small particles that have been digested, that have been broken down, and put them into your blood. That's what we call absorption. Okay, so small intestine and the large intestine, they are the most important part for absorption. They absorb almost everything that you eat. And there's another name here, which is assimilation. So assimilation doesn't have much to do with digestion absorption. It happens after absorption, is when your body transforms or make use of the chemicals that you absorbed during digestion. For example, if you absorb glucose, the glucose has to be stored somewhere. So the liver and the muscles are going to be storing glucose in the way of glycogen. So basically, assimilation is taking the food molecules from the blood into cells and then working them, processing them, and so on. So when you glue glucose to make glycogen, or you break down alcohol, you break down Tylenol, all those processes are called assimilation. The main assimilator in your body is going to be the liver. Liver is responsible for breaking down, transforming molecules that are already absorbed into something else. For example, alcohol. People that drink, the alcohol has to be broken down into the liver so it doesn't intoxicate people with itself. Okay? There's a small video here that shows the digestive system working. I suggest you take a look on that because it's quite interesting. And you have a little quiz here so you can do to see if you have learned much with this video lesson. I see you in class. Bye bye.